Here we are, rolling tape on episode 96. We're back for the spring premiere of Tenn Listens Live. I'm Bret from MiddleTennesseeMusic.com. It's been a wild ride for the last 6 months of doing Tenn Listens Live, and we expect it to keep getting wilder. The crew's having a blast. Got to say thanks to everybody that's been a part of this so far, and I'd love to list off all the bands and all the PR firms and everybody that's been on the show, but I don't even remember them all. Golly, it's just been that kind of wild. So anyways, I'm going to introduce everybody that's here with us tonight, and we'll get right on into things. We've got some great music lined up, or at least we think we do, and we're going to find out about it here real soon. Up here beside me, I think this is the first time he's been on the show with us, John Voschel. John promotes independent music mostly on Google Plus and has done a fantastic job of doing that for the last 4 years or so. John, it's great to have you here.
Thanks, Bret. It's great to be here.
It's really a pleasure. Aaron Young has Hangout Records over in Memphis, Tennessee. He's one of the show sponsors. He's been here for all but one episode. Aaron, thanks so much for coming back. Looking forward to another great season.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Looking forward to tonight's picks and to see what everybody's got to say about them.
I think it's going to be fun. Next row, we got Kristin Rader with My Music Hangout. It's also doing a lot of support for the School of Rock. Kristin, this has been a blast for, I don't know how long we've been hanging out now and doing music together, but got to thank you. You always bring so much fun to the show.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm not sure how long either, but it's definitely been fun.
Yeah, it sure has. Czar Smith up in Nashville, Tennessee, music producer, has joined us now for, I think, 6 episodes. I'm kind of pulling that off the top of my head. You know how I do. He's got some great insight, great opinions, always brings some fun, and he's in a new position tonight. Looks like a new room and everything. How you doing, man?
Doing good. I'm in the same room. I've just got the camera pointed a different way.
Looking good. We got another Nashvilleian, Winchester, Tennessean, Lee Gibson, guitarist, musician, songwriter, does some production work. Lee, it's good to have you here. It's first time on board, and looking forward to it.
Same here. Thanks for having me out here, man.
Appreciate it. And all at the other end of the state, we got this thing covered today. Dusty Bradshaw from the Dead Shed over in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Been a faithful supporter, excellent musician. Still playing with knobs, it looks like. How's it going, man?
Going good, man. Thanks for letting me hang out. Looking forward to it.
Well, let's get into it. We've got some good stuff lined up. Tonight we're going to hear music from Splashing Pearls, Alberta, Kristin Rader, Tim Jones, and Brother Octopus featuring Jay Smo from the B.U.N.K.S. 5 tunes on board, and go over the rating system real quick, and I always like to have this other view up so we can see everybody's looks as they hear the rating system. We'll start at the bottom. And man, if we hate a song, can't stand it, it's got to be turned off, whatever, want to spare your friends from hearing it, we're even going to spare the dog from hearing it. So the lowest rating we might ever give on one is spare the dog's ears. Up from that a notch or so, you come across those songs that, okay, yeah, it's an okay song, but definitely not for me. You might only listen to it when the girlfriend or the husband or the whichever makes you listen to it will say, only on chick flick night am I going to play that song. You might have something that, hey, you love it, but not necessarily the thing you're going to blast out in public or share with everybody. Maybe it's that sleepy time kind of thing, or that private meditation track or whatever. We'll stash it on the tablet right there, kind of in the middle, so to speak. And, you come across things that you dance across the living room while you're cleaning the house, but you didn't necessarily want to get caught. Well, you got caught dancing to that one, I guess. And the highest rating we might ever give something, you've been there with the license plates rattling and the speakers falling out of the windows, just blasting it, sort of blowing up the red light and pissing off the neighbors. So that's the rating system, so to speak, and we're gonna give our opinions and views on those. Let's get this started. If you guys have got the page open over there on the website with the songs on it, which is, by the way, MiddleTennesseeMusic.com or MidTNMusic.com. I've got the correct page now. We're going to start off with Richmond's Arcade by the Splashing Pearls. And the quote we've got from their site says, the Splashing Pearls are one of the most engaging bands in a long time. Original songs written by Peter Scoble that tell stories the old-fashioned way. While it was happenstance that they arrived as a trio of ukulele, steel drums, and upright bass, the real coup de grace is the wonderful vocal by Larkin Salimi. Says, whether it be folk, rock, blues, reggae, swing, fun, or vaudeville, the Splashing Pearls entertain. This one was sent over to me by one of our favorite PR firms, and he sent me two in the same email, and I kind of like the sound of the way this one started out. So we got Richmond's Arcade ready to go by the Splashing Pearls. If you guys are ready, I'm ready too. Let's hit play.
As long as I can last.
I'm pretty digging this.
I am a spinning teacup, a most curious past. I ride that circles round and round, going nowhere fast. It's a rich man's arcade. Rich man's arcade. Another coin in the slot. Coin in the slot. And after we have been played, they come to collect what little we've got. It's a rich man's arcade. It's a rich man's arcade. I'm a stack of bottles on the ledge, trying to stay off the floor. They topple me, but they will see I keep coming back for more. And Zoltar sits in the corner, collecting cobwebs. His lights have grown cold. Not one lousy quarter. They don't wanna know what the future might hold. It's a rich man's arcade. Rich man's arcade. Though we're tired and we're spent, and after we have been played, we're lucky to keep just 1%. It's a rich man's arcade. It's a rich man's arcade. I am a hula girl doll with longing in my eyes. You pay and pay and pay to play, and I could be your prize. I am a rolling pinball, somebody else in control, pushing my buttons, flipping me off, trying to stay out of a hole. It's a rich man's arcade.
Flipping me off, trying to stay out of the hole.
Coin in the slot. Coin in the slot. After we have been played, they come to collect what little we've got. It's a rich man's arcade. It's a rich man's arcade. It's a rich man's arcade. It's a rich man's arcade.
J.S. Matthew has joined us. Welcome, J.S. You came in the middle of a tune, and we'll get you caught up on the next one at the end of this round here. Thanks for coming in. Wow, I dug that. That was fun. I got to listen to it again. A lot of good lines in there. I love those steel drums. Don't everybody speak at once.
I definitely liked it.
Song, man.
I want to listen to this one on my studio monitors because it felt like the male verse was panned to maybe 11 o'clock, and then the female verse was panned to like 1 o'clock. They both didn't sound dead center. So listening on headphones, they felt like they were next to each other, literally. So
I got that too, and I think they'll blend a little more in open air.
but
I
definitely,
liked it.
It blended really well through my monitors. That's how I listened to it. So it sounded pretty sweet.
It's definitely different from anything I've really heard before, I think.
Yeah, there's been some comparisons to Mumford and Sons and whatnot, but I hadn't ever heard Mumford use steel drums, and I've seen pictures. They're real steel drums, and there's some very interesting instruments that show up on their stage too. So this was fun for me.
He kind of reminded me of Fred Snyder from the B-52s, his vocals.
Yeah, I could hear that.
Just a little bit. It's not my cup of tea. I listen to all kinds of things. It's not really my kind of thing, but I'm not going to slay them.
Right.
At this point, it's just my first listen, so it's something that I don't. It's just not my thing. So, but I can appreciate what they're doing.
I'm glad that when the verses did come in, it matched the music. I was a little afraid something totally left field was going to come out with that music, but it all went together. But overall, I liked it. I'd say I definitely stashed that one on the tablet.
For me, it's not a red light jammer, although maybe at the right time. I think for now I'll get caught dancing with it. I might knock it back to the tablet.
I'll be dancing with it with you.
I'll dance with you, baby. I'll definitely dance with you on that. That's all right. We can get downright dirty on that one. Oh, I didn't say that. Meg, don't want to be watching.
I'm kind of with Lee. I mean, I didn't hate it, but I would have to say only on chick flick night.
Only on Chick Flick Night from John. Didn't hate it.
I'll add to that. That could be something that could be used in some kind of TV or movie licensing, but that's, as backdrop music. But for me, that's where it ends.
Yeah, I could see that in a lot of scenes and a lot of different scenes in different movies.
I don't know. I kind of just see myself dancing around the kitchen like with a mop or something. I don't know.
Wait a minute.
Like maybe a housework type, like fun, turn it up. I don't know. It's got some kind of fun vibe to it.
It does, and I think it's got something darker in there in the lyric that I didn't quite catch too. So I don't know. It's very festival-ish. Also, definitely side stages at the festivals. That'd probably be a blast. But
Yeah,
did
it's
you
kind
just
of
compare me to a mop?
No.
What was that, John?
I was just saying it has kind of a carnival feel to it.
Definitely. That what going on with that arcade thing too. What about it, Memphis?
Well, I like the bluegrass feel to it, and I made it through the whole track, and I just really couldn't get used to the vocals on top of that kind of music. It wasn't bad, wasn't the best, but still, they had a lot going on with their sound, but the vocals just kind of confused me, and just I'm not sure. It was like putting the band Cake, into Oklahoma Medicine Show. That's the kind of comparison that I'm drawing.
That's
You'll
that's great.
probably only catch me stashing that on my tablet somewhere. But I do like some of the other suggestions that I've heard about it being, in production of a movie or something like that. I think it really would fit well somewhere down the line there.
Right on, right on. Did we get Chattanooga in?
I dug it. I like it a lot, man. That's about
Cool.
it.
I like it a lot. That's about it. Well,
Well,
you'll,
actually, I've got a good friend. He's in Asheville, and they're in a band called the Gypsy Swingers. They actually do more of a traditional type Django Reinhardt type stuff. But man, if you put them in more of a rock setting,
guy named,
direction of that, I appreciate that kind of music. I like it. So
does a guy named Mario play with Gypsy Swingers?
yeah.
We got a mutual friend over there.
Oh, do you? Yeah,
Yeah.
me and Mario used to jam all the time, man.
I'll be darned. Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Small world. So we got some right up the middle, some kind of a little closer to the other end of the middle, and some that are pretty high at the top there. Somebody's echoing. Probably got a live speaker on. There, thank you, whoever that was. I think it was Dusty, but I can't see his button from here. And that's Rich Man's Arcade by Splashing Pearls. Hey, I liked it a lot. Dusty liked it a lot. Christine liked it a lot. And hey, I think some things could happen with that one. Pretty good stuff. We're going to take a quick commercial break and hear from our sponsors, Hangout Records, and we'll be back right after these messages. This episode of Tenn Listens Live is brought to you by Hangout Records, showcasing the musicians of Google Plus in open mic style hangouts on air. Good deal. We're back from our commercial from Hangout Records, and they've got some neat stuff coming up real soon. They're gathering with the Birthday Boys tomorrow night for a big musical party for June Gall on G Plus Hangouts on Air. Friday night, they've got Rebecca Pearl coming in for a special performance, and next week, partnering with My Music Hangout to provide an open mic. And Christine, My Music Hangout, is there a special guest on the open mic next Wednesday?
No.
No special guest.
Everybody's special.
Everybody's special. Good deal. So let's do our next track here. I'm going to try not to show any favoritism because one of the guys here, I work with him, Aaron Young down in Memphis, chose this track from some of the stuff that got to the website over the last couple of weeks. Brother Octopus with J Smo of the B.U.N.K.S with their song Swim. The quote I've got says, J Smo teamed up with Edmonton, Alberta, Canada's electric rock blues folk musician Brother Octopus to create Swim. It's a song about taking what life's stream throws in your current and making the most of the situation. Up-tempo, electro-infused instrumental, blended with golden era-influenced raw hip-hop. And being played on XRP radio over in England, worldwide. Unsigned independent artists all over XRP radio. If you guys got her ready there, we've got from B.U.N.K, Swim.
Some people just have no clue. Chilling like a villain deep under the sea. A Pisces, lost in my thoughts of where you find me. I'm going with the current, fins flowing along. And then I heard Brother Octopus playing the song. My gills tingled, so I changed course. Swerving through funky beats is my favorite sport. Back to it, we gonna do it. It's gonna take a lot of work to get through it. In the belly of the beast, don't be stupid. Fell in love with this music, where's Cupid? Selling fake dreams of lost students. The lesson gets scrambled, no prudence. So with a fist of fury, watch the oct win the jury like the spice in our curry, cause the spice in our curry is hot. Watch the apples from the soap tree drop. You are rocking with the cream of the crop. Now jump, now bounce. Just swim to the right, swim to the left, swim to the surface, swim through the depths, swim through the waves, do tricks off the crest. This ocean is just put your limits to the test. Swim to the right, swim to the left, swim to the surface, swim through the depths, swim through the waves, do tricks off the crest. This ocean is yours, so put your limits to the test. Meanwhile, above the dirt, the humans going crazy, destroying planet Earth. Looking
I can dig it.
in my mainstream, it keeps piling up, corroding
in all my daydreams. And lately, I've seen some strange things, specifically speaking on mutated species. My mind wonders, I feel my own schema. What is all this debris labeled Fukushima? My cousin was cute, and now she's a demon. They say it's in the water, I'm starting to believe her. But the current moves forth, running full speed with the flame to the torch. Going full blast, jumping blindly off the porch. We'll make our decisions when faced with the fork. Pop the cork, I'm feeling bubbly, trying to forget the idiocracy of you dummies. Pour me another glass in the air, raise up your fist, show me you care. Roll up that good, put smoke in the wind. Now everybody let go, jump in and swim. Pour me another glass in the air, raise up your fist, show me you care. Roll up that good, put smoke in the wind. Now everybody let go, jump in and swim. Swim to the right, swim to the left, swim to the surface, swim through the depths, swim through the waves, do tricks off the crest. This ocean is yours, so put your limits to the test. Swim to the right, swim to the left, swim to the surface, swim through the depths, swim through the waves, do tricks off the crest. This ocean is yours, so put your limits to the test. Swim to the right, swim to the left, swim to the surface, swim through the depths, swim through the waves, do tricks off the crest. This ocean is yours.
That mode just got really cool.
To the right, swim to the left, swim to the surface, swim to the depths, swim through the waves, do tricks off the crest. This ocean is yours, so put your limits to the test.
Good pick, Aaron.
Yeah, the idea for me on this try was to just find something outside my comfort zone, because most of you guys and gals know I like singer songwriter, acoustic, folk, bluegrass, that jam band. Well, this is kind of out of my normal genre pick, but I gave it a try, and I ended up really liking this tune. I mean, lyrically, there's a lot going on here, and the lyrics are they're awesome. What really, I guess, what got me was, I'm a March Pisces, and the second lyric talks about him being a Pisces, lost in my thoughts. Where would you find me? I mean, that's just I've felt that before, so I feel these lyrics, and it just jumped out to me, and I really like this tune, and the sound that they have going on is really cool. The beats, and it sounds like it's been mastered pretty well, from my virgin ears. So, but yeah, it's a great tune, and I would definitely bump this at the red light, and this would be one of those songs that I would like to, have a punching bag handy and just listen and hit that bag,
Right on. Well, you made a good choice, I think, too. I'm going to come down the middle on it because I want the vocal to be brought up a decibel and a half. Maybe just a dry vocal in the middle, just a nudge, 5 Scotias, and that would make the vocal and the mix and everything just about perfect for me. But I also want to hear the 16th note synthesizer. I want to hear it change up a little more too. I think I'm somewhere between stashing this one on the tablet and getting caught dancing with it. And on the other end of that, I'd probably bump it at the red light every now and then too, because it's just that kind of song you want to bump it at the red light.
Yeah, I'd be jamming at the red light and pissing off my neighbors with that song.
Yeah, doing tricks on the crest.
There you
When
go.
he got to that when he got to the line, doing tricks on the crest of the wave, and that really brought the whole thing
Swimming.
together for me. So, that's good stuff for me. That's just where I'm gonna come down with it. I like it a lot. Let's go up to Delaware. What do you got, John? I saw you smiling.
I'd definitely get caught dancing.
Definitely, huh?
Maybe,
That kind of.
maybe even dance into my car and continue to jam it at the red light. I'll say I got caught dancing.
I definitely liked it. It was different in a good way. I agree with Bret. The vocal could come up. Some I would like to hear the vocal more in your face. I really like the sense there. It's really just a sense of automation, I would think, with it. But because in parts I felt like the vocal was buried, especially with the that synth bass coming in. But there's other times where I felt like it was buried, but I could still make out the lyrics, and it just may have been just your brain knowing what is supposed to be said there. But yeah, I think the vocal could be more in your face. If I listen to that on monitors, I could tell just by the track that it's a more in your face style track as well. That synth bass, I really like the synth bass in there.
Yeah, I love the way they changed up the sound of the Moog on the bass at the end. And I'm one that the bunks know. I'll sit and twist those knobs just to nudge all the way through the song. If I'm working with synthesizers, they're constantly changing just a little bit at least.
I love hearing what you and Chris have to say, because y'all hear these technical aspects that, as a listener, and that I don't pick up on. I'm just a fan, that loves music. So that's why I really like listen to hear y'all break it down technically to see what needs to be done to make it better here or make it better there. That's really cool how y'all do that.
So that's why we like having folks like you and John and Christine around as just listeners that don't play and don't produce and twist knobs and whatnot, because you guys are just listening.
Right.
We're listening with two brains, and it's a pain in the butt sometimes.
It's the only negative thing. Well, I would say negative, but I'm not a huge fan of the effect on the vocals. But I do like it to a point where I would want to hear more from the artist, though. I want to hear what else they have.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the vocal effect. I just wanted to hear some more of the dry. Let's catch Lee up in Nashville real quick.
Coming from a production standpoint on this one, the one thing I couldn't get past was the last line of the chorus. I never could differentiate what the two vocals were saying, because they were overlapping, and it was just unintelligible to catch that last line. And as a songwriter, say, enunciate everything. I don't care if it's rap, country, blues, or whatever. I just never could catch that. I was sitting there trying to catch every last line of that. And when something is blurred or distorted and you can't hear it at 3 choruses in, especially if that's the hook line or whatever, you got to sing it, you got to speak it, you got to rap it, whatever. It's got to be there. And I just couldn't get past that. Musically, it's not my, forte. I listen to everything from blues to rap to musicals to country. Of course, there's the palette is diverse, but I'm, from the studio songwriter standpoint, I really want to hear those words and either get the vocal up to where you can hear it, or enunciate enough to where I can pick up what you're saying. So that's my point. As far as like the rating system, I'm in the middle. I'm not going to burn it. I'm not going to buy it. But it's a viable tune, but it's just get those words out here.
Couple tweaks, huh?
Yeah, really.
I'm with you. I didn't catch the doing tricks on the crest line at the end of the chorus until the last time that I heard it, and that's when I actually heard it. What about you, Dusty?
Oh, well, that's not my genre, really. But I have to agree, if you're going to expend the effort to make a song in that genre as lyrically dense as that one is, with some killer phrasing and stuff, you need to be able to hear the vocals. They need to be out there, because it had some cool lines in the song, some real songwriting as opposed to just words,
Some of the things we've gotten in the past.
Yeah. So, I really enjoyed the tune. But actually on my monitors, there were times when it kind of punched through and I could hear it, pretty clearly. And then at other times it was running a little low, but it sounded great. It made me want to get out of my seat. So I'm like a country, songwriter. So I don't do that, but I appreciate it. And it sounded good to me, man. It's just the vocals are a little low, I think, but.
Where are you going to bring that one in on the rating system?
Oh, well, I don't know. I'd probably never listen to it. I just don't ever get off into that genre. But now that I've heard it, I'd probably want to actually, to tell you the truth, the vagueness of the lyrics probably would warrant a three-peat listen to it, and by then it'd be in my head, so I'd listen to it probably some more.
It sounds like you're going to stash it on the tablet.
Probably so.
That's where I'm going to let it be. Well, there you have it. Sorry to pick you on your partner, but well, you knew it was coming. Fix those vocals issues for us, man. Lose that Middle Tennessee mud and the enunciation, and that's going to be great. Just a couple tweaks, and that's J Smo of B.U.N.K.S with Brother Octopus Swim. Find it on Bandcamp, and we'll have the link in the blog post when it comes up. Let's have a quick message from UL Sounds, and we'll be back in 1 minute. This episode of Mid-10 Listens Live is brought to you by MPC Recording Company, the independent label known for empowering artists to understand music as a business and to control their careers.
Cut. All right.
Nope, it's staying in there. All right, and we're back with our third song of the night, and page 3 on the website post, guys. This is getting confusing now, and we have Alberta. Who's that going? I'll fix that. We have Alberta with Sweet Stone. I have not heard this song. It was chosen by one of our team members, Eddie Conlon, who is not here to tell us why he chose this song for Mid-10 Listens, published recently on Middle Tennessee Music. I got a record from Alberta about 4 years ago, and if I had to average it, I've played it 1.5 times every week for the last 4 years. It's just one of those kind of records. It's completely different from anything anybody has ever sent us, and I freaking love it. So there's my bias going into this thing. I don't know what this song's like. And we got Sweet Stone by Alberta here. You guys on page 3 and got the player down at the bottom there? Let's roll with it.
Looks like something to do. I've been trying to disappear for some time, but everybody knows I'm just the same kind.
He's got a David Gray Wilco thing going on.
Is that it?
Jeff Tweedy.
Yeah, I guess so.
Big old cars is what I hear at night. Driving past the place I go home to most of the time. These crooked floors, these plain white walls, the corner took my bed. This is sheets that I don't upkeep. Throw a cover over it out instead. I'm the wretched on the waterway. Flow my words and lose my mind.
This is really nice.
Love me, let's go back to my sweet stone. Love me. lost in traffic sounds so typical for somebody just hanging around. Someone read at me at the county line, and I'll take it like any good man would. Stand right here, open hearted, 'cause the horizon ain't doing much good. And I'm rich on the waterway. Flow my way.
Yeah, the mix kind of changes up. The instruments kind of change up a little bit. I'd love to hear more of that in the songs that we get.
My sweet stone, allow me, let's go. Back my sweet stone, allow me. Please take it.
That was pretty good, man. I really enjoyed that.
I thought you might like him.
I really enjoyed that. That's gosh,
Those big boy girls and songs.
yeah,
Girl
he
songs.
definitely sounds like David Gray and or Jeff Tweedy. That's my opinion, but wow,
It was well done. Those acoustic guitars were perfect on it.
the
Well done. Dig
man,
it.
the guitar had that Maisie Star feel to it, that Fade Into You song or whatever.
Yeah.
That guitar, or I don't even know if it's a guitar, but that sound brought me back to the 90s. And that's where I think that song belongs. It's sort of like a 90s alternative tune.
Yeah.
My opinion,
So, you know.
I can beg to differ. But
You trying to start a fight?
I don't know if this would be something you would dance with. And even if it's a good song, but would you jam it at the red light? Probably not. But still,
That's the song you put on after you've had a fight and then had a really nice romantic dinner and 2 bottles of wine and you're about to make love in front of the fireplace, man.
perfectly said.
Yeah.
Yeah, they work for that.
Yeah, what's the rating for that? Making love in front of the fireplace.
We've just
That's got to fit right with jamming at the red light. No puns intended. Come on, y'all. You'll catch up.
It's so much more fun when we have a lady on the panel.
Don't hold back on my.
Have we ever?
No.
I was wondering about it because the other album that I've got from them 4 years ago, I'll plug it into my car stereo and run down it, especially at night if I'm driving late, the stars are out and the temperature's right and the wind is down. I will crank that thing all the way up and just let it play over and over.
You had a stereo in your car, Bret?
Yeah, it came with one. It's got a CD player in it and an AM FM radio, and I think I can plug a USB thing into it, and it's got some kind of little. I plug the Nexus into. I'm high tech redneck.
There you go. High tech redneck.
But this is a little bit of a departure from what I've heard from Alberta in the past, but stuck with the same kind of. I can tell it's the same musician I'm listening to. The vocals buried in reverb. There's a lot of things that engineers and producers would say are terribly wrong with this track, but I find them to be so interesting and so compelling that I throw all that out the window and don't even worry about it. It's where I can just listen and not listen with that mechanical side of my brain, just the artistic side of my brain. And I really dig his tracks. Gonna have to listen to it again to catch all the words. And I'm not sure whether I would fix them with a little more cleanness or riding the faders or using the compressor or what. And I'm not going to talk about that. Uh, I dig the Alberta stuff, and as far as I don't know who else said I don't think I can dance to it, but I could imagine a whole lot of hippie girls with their lighted hula hoops, slowly gyrating in front of the fireplace.
Oh, brother.
That's a hippie hooping
at the
girls in
festival
front
for
of
the
a.
late night show, and just loving it. So I'm going to jam it at the red light. That's where I'm at with it. I like this one. That's my red light jammer for the night.
Hippie hula hooping girls in front of the fireplace. That sounds like a beginning of a really cool song.
Bret, I think you've been to the 41A festival in Tullahoma just a few too many times.
Well, I haven't missed a single Bonnaroo. You know, I'm part of promoting the Music Tree Fest.
Well, I got caught dancing to that one. I like the track, but from the production standpoint, I'd have to bring the vocals up. He sounded like a young Steve Earle, but still get those words up there. I mean, like a pre-best of Steve Earle, you know, before Transcendental Blues. I mean, way back, even before Copperhead. So
now that you put it there, I make that connection, and I caught a little bit of an old Tom Petty flavor just for a minute.
You could go that way, but I mean, even Chris Knight records is as stone cold, bare bones as he is. The words are there. It's poetry. Put it out there and let the people hear the words. You know, I'm just a stickler for that. I'd never let the thing get out of the studio with you can't hear all the words. So, but no, I love the track. I like the song. I'd give that the Got Caught Dancing, but if it were me producing the thing, we'd go back in and we'd ride that vocal up to where you could actually hear.
Yeah, I'm not really sure where to put this. If it's an instrumental track, I loved it. But you know, the lyrics to me from an untrained ear, they just sound a little too mumbled.
Definitely got that middle America thing.
I mean, I would definitely stash it away because, like I said, I was really into the track, but it's just the lyrics. They're just a little too mumbled.
So stashing on the tablet, huh?
Yeah, I have to go stash it on the tablet.
I agree. I felt myself struggling too hard to understand the vocals because of all the reverb. Maybe it was intentional. I'm hoping it was intentional, but yeah, I felt myself struggling so hard to understand the lyrics that I just dropped back and focused on everything else, which wasn't bad. I mean, I enjoyed the music of it, acoustic guitars, the pianos. I really like how the piano was panned between left and right. I love when people use the whole stereo field, so that part of it was nice. But yeah, with the vocal not being able to understand it just frustrated me in trying to listen to it. I'd stash it on the tablet.
Right down the middle, huh? As far as, like you say, intentionally, I think he does some of that intentionally, because that's going back to the things that I've got from him in the past. He's tamed that reverb a lot. Can't hear you, Dusty. Yeah, it's that one over there.
I had the board muted. I said I'd probably get in there after playing that song late on a Saturday night. But
yeah,
it is. It's just Reverb City. It's like space cowboy music. It reminds me of, like, you know, cruising through the desert, you know, at night with the stars shining down, just trippy. It's heavy on the reverb. I'll give Chris that. But man, I don't know. I mean, it's not something I would play during the heat of the day, but at night I could have that on, chilling, listening on the patio. So I don't know where that would be. Not stashed on the tablet. What's the next one up from there? Between
Got Caught Dancing, which would be kind of a weird rating, it would feel like, to give this one, but
I'm going to give it that one.
But it fits.
It's where it's at. So for me,
Liable to catch Dusty that cranking that one while he's cranking one on the back porch. I like it. Good stuff. Alberta, Sweet Stone, and that one's over at B.U.N.K. as well. And we've got one more coming up. special submission and sneak preview in advance of release. I like those. We'll see you in just a moment. This episode of Tenn Listens Live is brought to you by Hangout Records, showcasing the musicians of Google Plus in open mic style hangouts on air. There's the record button. We're coming back from commercial break. We've got an exclusive sneak preview coming up in a few minutes, and that's going to be a lot of fun. And right now, we've got a young lady from the Tennessee area, Kristin Rader, sent Undeniably You over, and Czar Christopher Smith there, he picked this one out for the show tonight. We'll find out why in a few minutes. Got a quote from Kristin. It says, "My prayer is to be a voice of encouragement that reaches beyond my music. I hope that each individual that hears these songs will be blessed." And she's got a great story on her website as to why she started making music, and it's really a beautiful story. And we have her song "Undeniably You." We're streaming this one through YouTube, and everybody's got her ready to go. Let's roll it.
You watch me fly, you let me go. I try my wings, but we both know how lost I'd be, how far I'd fall. I'd hit the ground, I'd hit the wall. When I'm spiraling down, Lord, you turn me around in a ways that only you can do. And then it all comes into view.
It's hard not to like this chord progression.
On the wind, I am taken again, and there's nothing more that I can do. And then it all comes into view, and I see your plans unfolding for me. When your hands show me the way, and I see where you are taking me, there is no mistaking it's true.
Yeah, fun stuff.
This is clearly a very spiritual tune. I could see this tune being played on Christian radio stations. Obviously, the song's about a higher being than us. It's very, like I said, very spiritual. I would probably end up, you know, chick flick night. That's where I'm headed with this one. So, maybe you all have anything to add?
I'm almost a chick flick night with you, but it's almost a red light jammer and it's almost a caught dancing track, and there's a lot there. Um,
There is a lot there.
in my opinion, it's a perfect Nashville arrangement as far as the arrangement of the song. Uh, I don't think there's a producer in Nashville that would be unhappy with the arrangement. Uh, it's very well performed. It's a real good mix. You can make out every word. It's not the kind of thing I listen to on a real regular basis. So I can't bring myself really to say I'm going to jam it at the red light. I'm going to wind up with this one personally stashed on the tablet because I'm going to listen to it again. And you're right. There's she's singing it. She's singing about that higher being for sure, which not just the Christian radio stations. I can hear that crossing over into mainstream radio stations uh, just fine. There's a lot of those bands are doing that now, a lot more than there were a few years ago, which is
That's
It
a good
true.
thing.
has a pop feel to it,
Yeah,
but very upbeat and um, enjoyable.
Contemporary worship type song. And it's dang good that's a dang good contemporary progressive worship song. In fact, my wife and I just drove today, and she has a couple of CDs of basically the same genre of music. And while it's not exactly my style, she would have that absolutely cranked up to 11 if she heard it. So I'll let her hear it.
right on.
That's cool.
What about one of your other Nashville cats there?
There we go. Had to find the mute button again. This is my first time doing this one, so I listened about halfway through it, and like a lot of contemporary music, contemporary Christian music, it will go, it cycles back through. So I actually stopped this, went to her website, and pulled up another track to see what her vocal sounded like on that. To me, there was way too much almost like auto-tune artifacts within the track. She's got a heck of a track. It's killer track. She's got a good voice on her, but I mean, even being a singer myself, I leave a lot of natural, intonations, and then missed intonations in there just because I want it to be natural. To me, that was just like too perfect of vocals. And if you listen down to it, and if you ever heard auto tuning, it wasn't set to stun like a Cher record, but it was definitely on a good 6 or 7. And every time I hear that, it kind of just throws me for a loop. So, but she's got a great song, great track, good voice on it too. It just, I just don't care for the auto tuning thing. So that right there could go any of the ratings up there, because you could blow that up at a red light. You could, stash that on the tablet. You could do anything with that. And I work with some contemporary Christian artists as well. So it's just one of those things. It's not, wasn't quite for me. So.
I'm with you on the repetition thing too, and you hear that a whole lot in the genre. So it works. It does what it's supposed to,
Yeah.
but it's not my thing. All right, Chris, you pick this one out.
Oh, 100% agree with you. When I first heard it, it's funny because I did the same thing when I first heard it. First thing I said is the auto tune has to go. And I, like you, I went to her site and listened to her other music, which didn't have the auto tune on it. So I felt like, or one of the other songs I listened to didn't have the auto tune on it. So I feel like maybe this was experimental for her. But I'm a sucker for acoustic guitar and female vocals. So that's what caught me immediately when I first started to listen to it. But I would, in my opinion, I definitely lose the auto tune. I don't, even with this genre, I don't know or hear much of the auto tune vocal going on with this. So which further makes me feel like maybe this was experimental for her. But yeah, I definitely, the auto tune just doesn't, I don't like it in any genre, but definitely on this song, it just goes away from the traditional style of what this song would be.
Yeah, I agree on that. And I wanted to blame it on MP3 coming through YouTube artifacts, but I really couldn't. Um, I wondered if maybe it's just not her key. What if they dropped it a half step? And she might could easily lose that and carry the energy. But so what's the final rating, Pickmaster?
I'd stash that one on the tablet. I mean, I love everything else about the song. It's just the auto tune that drives me crazy. So yeah, it would have to get stashed on the tablet.
Right on. And John, did we get you in there?
No, but I would definitely, the good thing about this being a music fan and not having technical background is I'm just listening to it from what a music fan would hear. And I mean, I would be jamming in at the red light. I mean,
Rock on.
I think less people should use auto tune, so I can see where you guys are coming from, but the average music listener isn't going to be able to know what auto tune is or what it's not. They're just going to know whether they like it or not.
That's precisely where I was going with my wife and driving across town today. She just appreciates the music. And I think like the whole CD that she was listening to today was well done, like this track, had a lot of auto-tune on it. And I think that sometimes, especially in the contemporary Christian thing, that they want to use auto-tune to attain that higher level of perfection like God does or something. But my wife just loves it. And she just chews it up and she can't get enough of it and she jams it. So I'm totally down with what you're saying, John.
Auto-tuner is one of the best things ever invented as long as they're used properly. And if I can't hear it, I don't care if it's there. And that's the thing, whether we're not supposed to hear it. Yeah, that's good stuff. Christine, you got started and we cut you off. Did we cut you off or?
I'm thinking definitely somewhere between stash on the tablet and get caught dancing with it. Definitely if I was in the mood, I can see dancing to it.
Yeah, I mean, and it could help my mood.
Yeah. Yeah, it could. I mean, you couldn't listen to that song and get in a bad mood. You know what I mean? So all you could do is get in a good mood.
All right. So pretty much down the middle for most of us, huh? And a couple big bright spots. I think it's a fun track. I think it's well done. And now I listened to the whole thing. I didn't go over to the website and listen to other tracks. So hey, she got some plays there, and I hope she gets some more too, because I think this girl's got some things going on for her and could go some good places. I could also see this song being used in a lot of television shows. It could also be. I'd hate to do it to this genre of song, but it'd make fantastic commercial music. Undeniably, that could sell anything. Hope she does some good. That's Kristin Rader, Tennessee girl, and we'll find the song over at YouTube. We got one more, and we'll be right back with it. This episode of Tenn Listens Live is brought to you by MPC Recording Company, the independent label known for empowering artists to understand music as a business and to control their careers. And here we are with the tape rolling again. We got a sneak preview, a special, a pre-release. I love it when people send us stuff like this from Tim Jones, whom a whole lot of this crew met a few years ago on Google Plus. I've been known to call him the George Jones of Google Plus. Tim does just straight up honest music, and he's not a young fella, and he makes no bones about that in his songs that he writes. They've got a great old-timey country feel to them. We're going to hear one that has been mixed and produced but not yet mastered. It was done down at Wishbone Studios in Muscle Shoals, Alabama by Billy Lawson. and they're supposed to have it mastered soon. I think they're going to be able to get the pre-mastered tracks on a download maybe as early as Saturday. So we've got Lesson and Leaving, original number by Tim Jones, and if you guys have got her pulled up there, we'll go ahead and hit the shiny orange button on the SoundCloud private player there, and hopefully it works because it's a private track and I embedded it in the website. But we'll see how it goes. And let's what we got.
I came in from the office, found the note that you had left me on the table. It said you didn't want to leave, but after all this time, you just weren't able to hang on to the promises I made to you so many years ago. The neighbors ain't heard nothing when I'm crazy. I'm sure they're gonna know. I got a lesson in leaving. My world has been turned upside down. Nobody knows misery like a broken-hearted clown. My teacher has a PhD in walking out the door. I got a lesson in leaving when she couldn't take it anymore. Maybe someday I'll get over you and pick up all the pieces once again. I still find it hard to think about, and drinking seems to numb the pain. But when the bottle turns up empty, the heartache is more than I can stand. I hope that I can make it through, but I know that I may need a helping hand. I got a lesson in leaving. My world has been turned upside down. Nobody knows misery like a broken-hearted clown. My teacher has a PhD in walking out the door. I got a lesson in leaving when she couldn't take it anymore. Got a lesson in leaving. My world has been turned upside down. Nobody knows misery like a broken-hearted clown. My teacher has a PhD in walking out the door. I got a lesson in leaving when she couldn't take it anymore. I got a lesson in leaving when she couldn't take it anymore.
It's classic Tim Jones, man.
For sure.
Love Tim Jones. I like his, his messages in his songs are very simple, very, the kind of country, small town country life, simple songs that we can all feel and relate to. And his voice is just kind of pure gold for his genre, and couldn't be a nicer guy. And there's not one song that I haven't heard by Tim Jones that I haven't liked. So I would jam this at the red light. I would. I'd go all out and piss everybody off around me and jam this at the red light.
Well, that's real country there.
It is. And, I'm going to let you go ahead, Dusty, but I was going to start with Christine. I was going to say, hey, Christine, you hate country music, so start this one off.
Don't hate country music.
But let's get Dusty, though.
I don't like country music, but I don't hate country music. But I'm starting to like it. I definitely like Chocolate Jesus and all of your stuff. So
That's not country.
It's not.
No.
It's starting to grow on me. I don't know what it is.
The singer-songwriter style's starting to grow on her, I think.
That's right.
Well, what were you going to say there, Dusty? Sorry, I cut you off.
So that's classic country. They don't make much of it anymore. That you get here on the radio, at least. So it's refreshing to hear some real country come out. And Tim's just a great guy. I've met him a couple of times, and I've loved everything he does. It's old-fashioned country. It's what country's supposed to be. Country's not supposed to be rock.
Yep.
Country's country, okay? Just like bluegrass is bluegrass. And there's a whole set of country music people that are really pissed off because of it. They're trying to save country music. And what you've heard is what real country music is.
Right. That's pure.
I could tell you, if I was in the mood to listen to country music, I would pick that song. That's definitely a country music song for sure. So.
Yeah, I've always said he's just pure, authentic, real. That's real country music. And you guys know there was a point when I made fun of country music. I hated country music for a long time in my life, and I don't know whether it's living in the area that causes it to grow on you, or maybe you get a little maturity about you and you actually listen to what's being said. But I feel like when I listen to Tim sing his songs, I feel like I'm sitting on Grandpa's knee getting a life lesson. And while it's not a red light jamming style song, I'm there and I'm going to jam it.
Definitely reminds me of one of my favorite country artists, George Strait. And, I listen to everything from country to rap to heavy metal. So, I listen to it all, but that definitely has a George Strait feel to it, and I really enjoyed it. I'd definitely be jamming it at the red light also.
Wow, cool. All right, Christopher. Let's break it down. He's going to break it down.
Definitely classic country tune. I enjoyed it. I liked it. The only thing that bothered me was there's just something about the vocal that seemed disconnected from the rest of the music. I don't know if it was the space that it was recorded in, or I don't. But it wasn't there all the time, which was weird. But
we're hearing a pre-mastered track, which is why I didn't complain about the sibilance and the drums.
Yeah, that's supposed to be fixed in mixing, though.
I know, but I have no idea what they're going to go back and do to it.
I definitely dig the. There was a tone in the vocal. It's this kind of low growly tone that I really enjoyed. But there just was times in the vocal where it just sounded like maybe it's recorded in a different space than everything else, and I could just hear that and tell that. But overall, I'm not a huge country fan. Of course, living in Nashville, it has grown on me. But I will say I haven't heard anything country as that in a long time.
It's real country. How are we going to rate it?
I stashed that one on the tablet as well.
There you go. Makes sense to me. And I really look forward to hearing the mastered tracks too. So we've had 5 tunes tonight. We didn't have anything that we could really, did we find anything to really bitch about? Anybody really bitch about anything tonight?
No, I'm really unhappy about that.
Me too.
You know, I wonder if it has something to do with like it not being a Monday. You know, because we're all kind of edgy at the end of Monday. You know,
No, it was just all pretty good.
just hey, I agree with that.
You know, even the stuff that's kind of where I was going to say, Christine, it was all pretty good. Even the stuff that wasn't right down my alley, it was well done.
Right. It's been a good show.
Like anything, we're going to all find a way to tweak something.
True.
And shame that Lee had to leave early. I would have loved to heard what he had to say about this one. Lee Gibson folks was lining up some gigs and whatnot, and they're coming in on the telephone, so he had to split. It's been a real good night. Good things going on all around, and we told you about a few of them earlier. And John, you've got a couple interviews coming up here pretty soon, don't you? You want to shout those out?
Got creative. I actually post interviews every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. A couple of the people coming up, country artist. I don't know if you guys have heard of him down in Tennessee, but Zach Emery. I have an interview coming up with him. Ars Nova, a band, has done a few shows with you guys. There'll be an interview with them going up on Friday, but just trying to help promote as many musicians as I can.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And you know, we'll get the show schedule for you over on the website too. So let's see. We got who else still here? Aaron Young, Hangout Records. Thanks a bunch.
Thank
Dustin
you.
Bradshaw, The Dead Shed, and a special part of this, man. I really appreciate it. Christine, My Music Hangout rocks.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. It was fun.
It's I always and Czar, man, you've brought something special to Mid Tenn Listens, and we hope you hang around for a long time. Every one of us is really enjoying it. John, I want you to come back. We've talked now for right at 4 years, and I want you to feel welcome to come around anytime you want to, because and you got some good things, good thoughts, good heart, and doing a lot of good things. Everybody here is working their tail off to support independent music in any way they can, especially via the internet. You can find them all on Google Plus real easily. And as a matter, I think almost everybody in this room actually runs a community of some sort on Google Plus too. Well, we'll talk about those some other night. Tonight we had great songs, and if I had the right page pulled up on the website, I'd remember everybody's name off the top of my head. But Tim Jones wrapped us up. We had Brother Octopus with Joshua Smotherman, J. Smo of B.U.N.K.S. We had Kristin Rader, Alberta, and Splashing Pearls. 5 completely different from each other's songs, all of them really well done. Everybody had good things to say about them, even when we had complaints about them. And that's from listening with 2 different brains. I hope everybody that sent in the music appreciate it, because we sure appreciate them sending in the music. Find the submission page for music on middletennesseemusic.com. And we'll see you guys in about a week with our next episode. Who knows what's coming down the pike? Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to the Mid Tenn Listens 5 at 5 podcast, so you can get 5 new songs delivered right to your device of choice at 5 o'clock every morning for your morning commute. I'm Bret with Middle Tennessee Music. We've had a great time with all the great folks tonight, and we'll see you soon. Peace.